Filmmaking is such a challenging industry that we're in. You can't really make a movie like this without a sense of intensity.
I take my action very seriously.
You all right? Yeah.
I enjoy doing my own stunts.
You don't like that? You don't like fresh vanilla ice cream? That tastes good.
He loves the sort of physicality of performing.
We'll shoot it.
And action.
I put ideas in anything that I do. I feel like that's my job. And it made sense to me that he's going to become the one who can wield the trident later. But I wanted him to be very much like a bar fighter. And then you're going to take what he's going to be great at with a little bit of that bar fighting. He's going to be a fun character to watch fight.
その日人類は未知の脅威に襲われる。海底からの侵略。
For Atlantis to rise again.
立ち向かえるのはただ一人。
Permission to come aboard.
Your half-brother King Orm is about to declare war upon the surface world.
We must stop him.
Oh, no.
彼の力は海の生物すべてを操ることができる。
You are not going to win this. A war is coming to the surface whether you like it or not.
You know I can't let that happen.
人類未体験。想像を超えた海中バトルアクションエンターテイメントがやってくる。アクアマン。
This is badass!
Guys, we'd like to now go to an underwater fight sequence.
The very first time I was pitched the movie, the first thing you automatically think is, well, we're going to be in the water all the time.
We've all heard stories of how difficult it is to shoot water-related movies. They tell you not to work with kids and animals, but they really tell you don't work in water if you can help it. But that's gonna be very difficult for a movie that's called Aquaman.
I don't think you can shoot the movie that you want to shoot underwater. Waterwork's just impossible. I can hold my breath for 5 minutes. Camera guys got to do the same thing. Just can't work.
It's not practical to shoot underwater, so obviously we're shooting in a green screen situation. And the movement was important to distinguish the underwater world from the surface world.
There's so much stuff that's never been done before, and we're really just discovering it as we go along. Think of the fight sequences. Imagine what that would look like if it was underwater. I don't know what underwater fighting camera work looks like, but we're here to make it up.
The greatest challenge as we entered the production of the movie was how are we going to make it look realistic underwater when we know we're shooting a dry set and the water will ultimately be brought in later as visual effects.
It was the first thing that we had to sit down and figure out is how are we going to make people really look like they're underwater.
I didn't know how they were going to shoot this. I had no idea until I showed up for stunt rehearsals and showed me what they were going to do.
We're setting up one of our guys on the tuning fork. It's to help simulate their swimming instead of actually being in a tank.
It looks like a fork, a tuning fork. Ding!
There's no easy shot in this movie, and even the movement of the actors is all new. It's all unique. It's all different to this particular film.
その日人類は未知の脅威に襲われる。海底からの侵略。
For Atlantis to rise again.
立ち向かえるのはただ一人。
Permission to come aboard.
Your half-brother King Orm is about to declare war upon the surface world.
We must stop him.
Oh, no.
彼の力は海の生物すべてを操ることができる。
You are not going to win this. A war is coming to the surface whether you like it or not.
You know I can't let that happen.
人類未体験。想像を超えた海中バトルアクションエンターテイメントがやってくる。アクアマン。
This is badass!
Aquaman riding a seahorse is one of the most absurd images from the comics. And one of the challenges going into this was how do you get past the sort of joke of Aquaman riding the seahorse? What James wanted to do was embrace it. Let's not pretend that these aren't the iconic images of Aquaman. Let's make them cool and make them awesome.
Going into it, I wanted different animals to differentiate the two separate kingdoms. With the Zebalians, they have taken to seahorses. And the king rides in on a beautiful, majestic sea dragon. They do feel like ancient knights, but with a sort of fantasy science fiction twist to it. Meanwhile, the Atlanteans have domesticated and tamed all the really dangerous sharks.
Willem gets to ride this giant black hammerhead shark with some really spectacular armor on it.
It was very important that the animals would in some way have personalities that tied in with the characters that would write them. And that's definitely the reason why King Orm's animal is an ancient tylosaur.
Orm, I think he gets the coolest one. He's riding this armored tylosaur that just looks so badass.
So の日人類は未知の脅威に襲われる。海底からの侵略。
For Atlantis to rise again.
立ち向かえるのはただ一人。
Permission to come aboard.
Your half-brother King Orm is about to declare war upon the surface world.
We must stop him.
Oh, no.
彼の力は海の生物すべてを操ることができる。
You are not going to win this. A war is coming to the surface, whether you like it or not.
You know I can't let that happen.
人類未体験想像を超えた海中バトルアクションエンターテイメントがやってくる。アクアマン。
This is badass!
Hi there, here's today's daily fact. The famous chest waxing scene in The 40-Year-Old Virgin looks so realistic because it is. Steve Carell, whose hairs were being ripped out, wanted the scene to look as true to reality as possible. And with 5 cameras rolling, it was done in one take. Ouch! Remember to click here below to subscribe on the side for more great content.